Hello everybody, welcome to Dungeons and Dragons here at the God Mode channel on this beautiful Friday night. I'm Jso / the Wizard / the DM, GM, whatever you want to call me, who's joining me this fine Friday evening.
Hey everybody, it's Luke and I am playing
Lincoln.
And Lincoln is a Warforged. What am I? What is? How do you play this game? Ranger. Sorry. Fey Wanderer Ranger. There we go. Next.
Hey everyone, and it's been a while. How do you play? How do you D&D?
How do you play this game?
Who am I? Oh yeah, I'm.
Oh, this is perfect. I got time to edit my channel here in the back end while he does his intro.
Oh.
He's not gonna elaborate. Somebody else just go.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, that's my buddy Tyne. I think he's yeah, I see smoke coming out. We need to get him some upgrades. I'm Slim. I will be playing a bugbear. What the hell? Rogue? Rogue? Yeah, bugbear rogue by the name of Uncle Jimmy.
Hey, I'll play Professor Bark. He's a verbal alchemist, artificer, soul of the moon druid, dean of natural sciences, professor of alchemy, biology, and flora and fauna and behavior, and at the illustrious Rabbit Saturn. I kind of lost steam. That sucked.
You did.
Hey guys, it's your girl Amanda, and I play Opie, the human ranger swarmkeeper.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick. I'm playing Forte. He's a dwarven engineer sent here to take care of the wagon as we travel through the wilderness and try to have the well-wishers become bringers of light.
Thank you so much, everybody. Professional stream as always. This is Lucent Odyssey, session number 11. This is our fun D&D meets Oregon Trail mixture. As always, quick little housekeeping notes, and then we'll dive right into the session. First off, as always, a huge thank you to Amanda Otten for the character art for our game. Go check out her handle in the chat. That leads you over to her Twitter. Give her some love, give her a follow. She may have some commissions open if you are looking to get some amazing art put together. I love the art for all of our characters this campaign. They're really awesome, so thank you so much. We had our giveaway last week, so congratulations, Tiber, on getting that bagland. It's very cute, and I hope you enjoy it. We also use Twitch channel points here. You get +1s to your rolls. You can give someone a random character, the elated or forlorn condition. And eventually we will have another community supply drop. I don't want to do those every single week just in case. I don't want to overload the party with inundate them with too much crap into the wagon and stuff like that. But we'll do another one probably starting next week is when we'll kick things off. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And of course, if you're following or if you're subscribing, you get boosted points. We use stream stickers here on the channel, so you can make sure and slap those down. You saw Mama Bear slapping a whole bunch down earlier. If you have questions about this campaign, since it's littered with homebrew rules, keep in mind that I'm spinning 300 plates at once, so I probably won't be able to interact with chat that much. I apologize. I do appreciate your follows, your subscriptions, your raids. All of that is very appreciated. But I'm typically too busy to notice it. But know that it is very welcome and very supportive. You can always keep an eye over on the floating log on the stream that you're going to see. It's going to give you a whole host of ! Twitch commands that you can use to get a better idea of the rolls. You can also do ! Rolls in the chat to get access to the document that's going to lead you on over to sort of like the full list of what we're using for this campaign. Also, Thursday evenings, I am a pro DM running a game of Spelljammer. In a Spelljammer campaign for folks, there is one more seat for that left at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. Link is in the chat. That's about it for my spiel. Why don't we run our intro and dive into some D&D? I'm going to run the intro, everyone. We will be right back.
draft. Oh, it's spelled like drinky draft. Increase your strength or dexterity save by 1. Oh, save. Okay, it's not so bad. Until the end of your current turn, though. So it's like good luck using that.
I guess
Yeah,
you can use it after.
yeah, that's true. You can always throw it out, burn it, and then get another one next session. So you
Yeah.
don't have to hold on to it if it's shitty.
True. Yeah, I mean, it still does the advantage, which, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what that's what it's for, anyways.
That's true. Hey, Nick / Forte, you want to tell us perhaps what happened?
Last time on Lucent Odyssey.
I love that voice.
It's
The best voice intro of all time. Last time on the Lucent Odyssey, as the well-wishers were traveling on, we were gifted with some Guidokin that came with the package. It contained a lot of goodies that were good, namely this nice little circlet of blasting I got. We went to the Scuttle Shrine, and there's the Yuanti, the Psychic Mantis peoples, and they're all in the... That's not what they're called?
Nope. Thrycreen.
Thrycreens. I'm not familiar with the people in this space. So they were Psychic Mantis, and they pray to the Scuttle Shrine, and we talked to them, and we made friends, and Blanken got a really cool Flutter Blade dagger. That's it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to see him throw it at people. As we traveled around, we found lots of people on our travels. We find lots of people that lose their supplies. Not really sure how you go out in the wilderness, don't have any supplies. Emaciated travelers everywhere, broken down wagons. We're helping everyone we can. We made a drop off to the immolated hilltop and made a lot of money. They needed a lot of water too, so we helped them. Hello?
You good?
Hello?
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 Hello? I'm getting a lot of people giving me the X, like I'm not talking.
Oh. No, that wasn't for you. That was for this
okay.
nasty link Kevin just posted.
Oh, got it.
Kevin's giving us Pornhub links in the roll-playing chat.
Oh, why am I missing that? I need to have my wand of disrobing or whatever it's called right here. I need to make sure that I check all links and to talk to all of the the nice Serenital ladies that give us quests to go places. So we talked to Serenade at the Helper's Hand Guild. We make it to the next biome, and lots of things need to go to this place called the Codices, especially the Toad King. We have a guy named Toad King now. He's a very important toad, but is also a king. Wants to go find Mr. Toad's wild ride. Is a very important thing we have to find in there. Please pay attention to the Toad King. That is pretty much what happened. We're outside of the Codices. Looks like a big library. Not really sure what we're going to find inside, but we need to be prepared because it seems like a very important place because everybody wants us to go there for something different.
Thank you very much for that recap. Very succinct. I appreciate that. Yes, everyone left off, essentially stopping their wagon right out at the front entrance of the Codices. You see before you this tall, massive, it is almost in the shape with the architecture of what could easily be mistaken for something of like a cathedral. Although you can see the plaque on the front reading Codices denotes it is, as far as you all know, for all intents and purposes, some form of archive or library of some sorts that is here in this region. You can see that the entire structure appears to be just lightly, probably not enough to even necessarily notice if you're inside, but just lightly sunk into some of the mire and muck that sort of surrounds the structure itself. Each shift of your feet occasionally hits a deep pocket of mud, and you can kind of hear the slosh as you have to pull it back out. So you see this structure. There does not appear to be any sort of like windows or anything that allows you to easily peer in. You just see two tall, beveled, arched at the top wooden doors with the plaque above, carved in stone that reads Codices on it. You see Opie, the small little toad king, this emerald frog in his small wooden cage, notices the codices and begins to sort of bound up and down as you see his like throat inflate as he goes blah, blah.
This is where you needed to go, right?
He looks to you and you see his throat again. Blah, blah.
Okay, we're going.
So, with that said, knowing the location, picking up where we left off last time, what would you all like to do?
What does the door look like?
Tall, wooden, it looks old, certainly like there's been some history to this place. The structure itself seems to have an architecture denoting of something far in the past, which, I don't, depending on your age, I don't know Lincoln's age, may be more familiar or less to him. I don't know. But the doors themselves, wooden, scratched, and have some age to them. You can see they've greened around the edges, likely from being here in the swamp, and two large, made in sort of like a black cast iron handles that sit in the center. No windows or anything on them, just wooden doors.
Lincoln is 7.
Okay, so definitely would not know that these are super old.
You're only 7, Mr. Lincoln?
Yes,
I'm older than you.
I am the baby.
Lincoln is the baby now. Oh no.
Protect the
Lincoln-
child has a new meaning now.
He was just talking about himself the whole time. Clearly, he doesn't care about Opie. No, protect me.
Save the child. I am the child.
Lincoln knows a lot about cordial politeness and walks up to the door and knocks on it.
You wrap a bony fist on the door, awaiting perhaps some answer from an assistant or bookkeeper from within. There is no answer.
No one's here.
Well, can we just go in?
Try the hand.
Lincoln tries the handle.
You pull at the handle, Lincoln, and as you open one of the doors with a creaking shutter, it opens into what appears to be some form of properly maintained, despite the age of this place and the fact that it looks relatively, has some history to it. Seems to be relatively well maintained. As you peer inside, you notice a dark blue navy rug that leads into a softly lit interior. You can see a long hallway-like atrium just ahead of you inside, with an area sort of at the front where on a stand, a large elongated stand, everyone appears to be greeted by whoever enters by a large, you're not sure if it's real or not, but seems to be a built skeletal system of what appears to be some type of drake or dragon-like creature. You can already see there's a couple lines of aisles of books that you can see lined up against the wall, a few globes that stick around at the corners as you peer inside.
Is it dusty? Is there dust on everything?
You need to walk in to be able to gather more info like that.
I walk in.
Okay. Does everyone
right
else
behind.
go in?
Perhaps we should look for traps.
Uncle Jay would like to check for traps and walk sneakily.
Sure.
Library.
What is trap?
That link that Tynar linked earlier is right.
Satire.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that screaming doll thing you put out, except for knives come out of it, or gas, or terrible things and try to kill you.
Sounds useful.
It's very useful. You know those things you're hanging around you, those like 80 steel jaws? Those are traps, buddy.
I like traps.
I'm gonna do an investigation check.
Sure. Are you doing it just like on the door here?
Yes.
Okay.
Is my plugin not working? Oh, that's great.
The connection between D&D Beyond and Roll20 has been real touch and go. You may have to turn it off and turn it on. Or, there it goes.
That's a nice solid check. That's a 6.
Something about this place makes the hair on the back of your neck, Uncle Jimmy, slightly stand up, but you can't really put your finger on why. As far as you can tell, though, at least stepping into the interior here, there doesn't appear to be any immediate traps.
Were there any like symbols, anything like on the door or the door frame around the door? The outside of the building?
Not that you saw without a check.
Perception? No, investigation.
Perception would work too.
6. Oh God.
Tying, you take a second to just study the door before walking with the others, and you don't see any sort of like wording or you know, runic sigils or anything like that. No marks on the door. You all walk inside.
What do you see, Link? Marks?
I will
pushing Lincoln in. I want to see
Yeah.
the library.
Yeah. Lincoln's really interested in this big old Drake skeleton looking thing here.
The Lincoln, you want to take one side, I'll take the other.
Mr. Lincoln, it's like you, but it's like a dragon.
Let's hope
Yes.
it's not too much like Lincoln. Don't want to fight this thing.
Why would you assume that I would automatically fight you?
No.
Did you do something wrong that deserves punishment?
As you all enter, the sound coming from the ambient bog or swamp region outside begins to almost fall away as you enter into what appears to be a quiet, almost hushed silence within the codices. The walls must be thick here, as most sound from outside is drowned out. The only thing you occasionally hear, the shifting of a book, the quiet sound of creaking wood. Around you as you enter Lincoln, just as you were asking before, you do notice a fair buildup of dust and as it appears time has passed, seems to be kind of clumped together in a number of things here. One of the few things that dust doesn't appear to have necessarily collected on is a pedestal that sits here up at the front with a small tome sitting on it, just a page or two long, that you can see open and laying for whomever to take a look at.
The dragon skeleton, is the head close enough to the ground where OB can like take a tooth?
No, the head is probably about 15 feet up in the air. It's a pretty sizable skeleton.
Well, I want to make a nature check on this here dragon.
Sure.
If I know anything
about as well.
Sure.
Mr. Lincoln, can you boost me up so I can grab a tooth?
Let me make sure it isn't alive first.
Why would it be alive? Look.
What's your
Lincoln
nature
just gestures at himself.
Oh, that's a good point, Mr. Lincoln.
Ooh, that's
Do
a
you
good
want-
that's
you
a
want
good roll. That was a
check?
20, 21, but I'll roll again if you're assisting me.
Yeah, I'm proficient in nature.
21 is much better than 5, so I'll take the 21, please.
Despite the makeup of the skeleton, and perhaps you've maybe seen one before, maybe you haven't, maybe you've just heard about them or read about them, the skeletal structure here of the skeleton, Lincoln, as you take a second to just study the bone structure of the creature, You come to realize this is the skeletal structure of a dragon known as the Jabberwock.
Whoa. I feel like that sounds sufficiently fey. I probably heard of a Jabberwock.
I
big
think they
scary
actually,
dragon.
yeah, I think they're related enough where Lincoln may be able to put two and two together to recognize this and know a little bit about them.
A fearsome foe. Do you want some of its teeth?
Steal from the library. We are guests.
Nobody's here, Professor.
I'm here.
But it's not your library.
As one scholar to another, I must protect the sanctity of the library.
Boring.
Things are not to be removed from the library.
Maybe later. I
Yes.
also want teeth.
Yes, maybe when my back is turned. And then he starts
Good,
looking.
good idea.
And then he immediately starts looking through the book.
The book is literally like a page or two long. You see some writing on the front where the 2 pages are open. Outside of that, it doesn't appear that there is anything else written in this book. It reads, written in ink, to those in search of knowledge, found betwixt page and cover, inked and bound the rules is writ, I shall expound. Until that which you seek is found, within these walls you shall be bound. Enter into each room with only a friend, or back to the atrium this curse will send. Make no sound lest the censors seize, for silence must remain in the codices.
Well, everyone, do you want the good news or the bad news?
Oh no.
Good news.
We will ultimately be successful. Because the bad news is we cannot leave until we are successful
Oh.
in our tasks, finding all the stuff.
Yeah.
Also,
But the door is right there, Professor.
the door. Oh, the exit? Yes. Well, I don't wish to test the methods which we are entrapped, but it seems to be that we are. This, loquacious note for me, it says that we, I guess pair off. Is that what I'm understanding? Take a friend?
That's how I take it.
That seems to be what it's suggesting.
Is the door like right behind us?
It is.
Opie's gonna try the door.
It is not
Professor
locked.
Perkins, interceded
Opening.
before. Okay.
Oh, go ahead. What were you going to do, Mark?
You got it.
Opie steps over to the 2 front wooden doors and pulls on one of the sides. It's not locked, Opie. It opens up, and there behind it, a wall of stone.
What the heck? The door was just here.
Yes, Opie, I was reading to you. Here until we finish our quests. Some sort of study aid, I imagine. The book goes on to say that we need to pair off and decide on a room.
Oh.
It also says silence, and we've been talking the whole time. What does that mean?
I would hope that it means no loud and jarring noises. But we've already pressed our luck this far.
I want to scream really bad.
Oh.
Yeah, so does Opie.
Well, I say we decide who we pair up with and where we go.
Like,
I'm
wow,
very
man.
interested in the exhibition section.
What are our goals here? We know that the Toad Key needs one of the sections. Do we have a lead on any of the other sections?
I'm pretty sure we had a quest that mentioned at least one other section by name.
We need to... Somebody named, I think, Chud. We need to travel to the Codices and find a picture book. Did we get any other information than that, Jason, or was it just picture book?
A person named Chud, mentioning that they are relatively wealthy, wanted you to go to the Codices and find a collection of picture books and like 3 quotation marks that they put here that they secretly buried in a case somewhere within the library. They mentioned that it's in the exhibition area.
Okay, there we go. Where was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride supposedly?
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, written on the note that you unfurl, mentions that you can find that specific book in the cosmological section.
Okay.
And then Serenay, the muse, told us we need to get rid of the Blightners,
Correct.
I think, and that the library might have their location. Do we know where that might be, Jason?
I think she mentioned to you that she believed that it may be in the periodical section.
Okay.
3 paths, 3 missions.
Well, Professor Bark is headed off in this direction to see all the cool exhibits.
Well, I'll go with you, Mr. Lincoln. When Professor Bark leaves, we can get one of those teeth.
This would be a good time to start taking things while my back is turned.
Excellent.
He doesn't
There is-
scout.
Tyne, you want to come with me? We'll go check out the periodicals section.
I can join.
And
Let's,
that just leaves Forte over there. Yeah, this should work.
let's,
Oh,
be real
At least
quiet. Like,
one. Yeah.
Wait, before we split. Professor, do you have any healing potions? Should we need them?
I've got quite a few.
I've got a couple too if you need them.
I also need to roll my daily potion.
Do it.
I'm stop bullying me.
do it. Swear to me.
I swear.
I have 1 potion of healing if you need it.
We'll take that one, and if we have another one from the professor, we'll take that one too. Just because you guys got all the healing spells. Me and Opie just have pokey things.
Right.
I might. Do I have a potion?
Here you go, Lankin.
Thank you, friend.
It's a standard potion of healing.
Okay, that's better than nothing.
I think I have a potion of healing too. I might have 2.
I am adding potion of healing to my inventory. Just
No,
in case.
I just have 1, but still.
Okay. Okay, so if we each have 1, we're good then.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck, friends.
Here, actually take this one. It's a greater heal.
Oh shit. Okay.
Dire circumstances, remember that.
Right, if we get thirsty.
Yes, thirst is a very dire consequence.
This is humor. I do not need to drink.
Yeah. Oh.
no, I'm good. I don't got nothing, but I got this guy back here. I'll be all right.
Here.
Potion of healing greater. Okay, adding that to my equipment. Cool.
Why does
Cool.
Ryan and Jimmy, you take this? I hand you a bag full of dust. It's a dust disappearance. Use it to disappear. How do you?
You have to hit the little tiny display in VTT button. Oh yeah, you got it. You got it.
And then I've got that swiftness elixir. Whoever needs that or wants it, you're more than welcome to it
What does it do?
Increases speed by 10.
for an hour.
Nah.
We're probably good.
Right. We'll take that. Shall we?
Let go.
We shall.
So,
Scooby-Doo.
Bark,
Yep.
Forte going to exhibition. Jimmy, Tyne
Mhm.
going to periodicals. Lincoln, Opie going to cosmology.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and please, if you would, roll me initiative.
Is it like only 1 person from each team or all of us?
Oh, I did my macro. Whoops.
Oh God. Hang on. Take everybody out. Why don't you both roll, and then we'll merge. We'll do the median number between the two.
Forte and Mark on the move. Got 2 Fortes.
Too many Fortes.
Actually, yeah, just everybody go ahead and roll. I'll just pair you up.
Jason, fix it.
Oh, there we go.
Fix it.
Forte, no Bark. Bark, no Forte.
Bark. All right, so we're gonna do Bark, Forte up front, and then we'll do Opie Lincoln next, and then that works out perfectly. Okay. Very good.
And Opie and I are kind of milling about in this main area until everybody else leaves.
You watch Lincoln as both Professor Bark and Forte begin to head towards the exhibition section. The two of you begin to make your way on a winding staircase. It, for all intents and purposes, feels like it is leading you up to some form of second floor.
Do we have any way to communicate between each other? Like, does anybody have sending or anything? Or message? Whatever those spells are.
I have Clarice.
And I have a mind link I can set up with anybody as long as within 50 feet.
So, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be
Clarice.
fine.
Does Clarice carry message?
Yeah, it's an animal messenger.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
It can go for 50 miles for 24 hours.
Damn.
All right, everybody, synchronize your watches. We meet back here in approximately how many
3
times?
hours.
Okay.
Oh, look at all the bones that are in their area. This isn't fair. Redo.
Eventually, Professor Bark and Forte, you find these stairs coming to an end as, peering around the corner, you notice the exhibition area opens up into what appears to be, at least from what you can see around the corner, a wide and vast exhibition of a variety of different bone structures from creatures running the gamut. Some of them you may recognize as maybe some of the creatures you've run into in the Forlorn Passage, while others seem to be different and stuff that you have not encountered yet. You reach the top of the stairs and there is a quiet silence, a deadening silence in the air here. What would you like to do?
We I think we want to try to go ahead, but be kind of quiet.
Yes, I noticed on the way up here, you clink and clang like pots and pans falling down the stairs, not going up. Let me check my spell book, see if I can help with that.
Are you saying this out loud?
I guess so, yeah.
Professor Bark begins to say something towards you, Forte, but as you open your mouth, Professor Bark, to say something, there is no sound that comes out.
Ma.
That's interesting. So would we hear my gear all banging
Yeah.
on itself?
You heard your gear clinking and clanking, and you can still hear the just very, very subtle sound of it sort of grinding against each other as you sort of huddle towards Professor Bark, but you do not hear Professor Bark's voice.
Okay. A lot of pantomiming that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Professor Park points at his head and says, and holds up his hand, holds up his rod that he normally casts Shillelagh on and tries to cast Shillelagh. It's got a verbal component to it.
It does not function if it has a verbal component.
He points at his head again, and then points at Forte. And then a shush. And a shrug.
That's not gonna be good.
Not good at all.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty useless then.
every single spell of mine is verbal.
Yeah.
Most of them are. All right.
You shape change still?
Oh yeah, can druids shapeshift without verbal?
Question. No.
It's an ability, not a spell, yeah.
Either way, while I'm looking at that, Professor Bark does the eye thing, and then sends you ahead first.
Got it.
Makes
Are
a
you
strong.
are you trying to, Forte, you said you're trying to move was being somewhat quiet, or is that what you're doing?
Try, but I'm wearing plate, so it's...
Give me a stealth check if that's the case.
You can move at half speed to get some sort of bonus, I think. Am I misremembering
Yeah.
that?
I've never heard that, but this is my only character that's at plate.
I'd say let's not worry about that. Oh no.
Ooh, there
Let's
we
worry
go.
about that.
Your critical failure on stealth.
All right, move where you'd like to move. Actually, as a matter of fact, you move about right here, I think.
Amazing. Amazing.
Do you have vision? Do I not have your stuff turned on?
I can see, yes. I have dark vision.
You can see, but can you see this room?
I can see all the way to the corner.
Okay, but you should see more than that.
I can see to here. This block is kind of cut off.
Yeah, I don't know why it is. It should not be. Hang on just a second. That's weird. That's weird.
It's not changed for me either.
Yeah, hang on just a second. Let me check this stuff. Dynamic lighting, everybody.
It's good until it sucks.
It's good until it isn't. Why is dynamic lighting turned off? Let's do this and daylight mode. Bam.
Huh. Oh. Okay. If I could talk, I'd say I don't like what I see, but... These are some cool creatures, though. I like this.
Oh, you know what? Hang on just a second. Let me turn this back off.
Like a double dome dinosaur.
Yeah, this is like everybody's Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I was gonna say if
Nice.
an owl shows up in here and starts complaining about bugs, I'm out.
I think what I did is this is done with Fog of War, because doing dynamic lighting was fucking some people's stuff up.
Got it.
So let me just reveal what you see then here. Sorry.
It's okay. I'll pretend I... Oh, okay, I did see it.
Just wipe it from your mind.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like you guys need to cast spells or anything.
Yeah, it's not...
You see this room opens up to a rather vast open area here, where you can see a multitude of bone-like skeletal structures of different creatures covering a probably vast range of areas and locales that they would have come from. There is a path that appears to lead across on the opposite side of the room, although you're not sure. You assume it's maybe another set of stairs, you're not sure. Maybe another room. Up top, you do notice a set of doors that appears to lead to another area. And then standing in about the top center of the room appears to be a being that looks humanoid, who is dressed in somewhat formal attire, like any sort of library attendant would dress in. They float, however, about a foot off of the ground and appear to be holding a couple books in their hands that they appear to be looking at the spines of and kind of just shifting, almost as if they are categorizing them. As you turn the corner here, Forte, there is a small piece of rock here on the display that with your natural one you immediately knock over and it cracks on the ground. The sound is loud and audible in the otherwise deafening silence. And as this happens, the figure turns towards you and sets the books down onto the ground, while floating back up a foot off the ground and puts its fingers, its long finger you can see with a nail sharp at the end, up to its lip in a shush manner. You still have your movement for yourself, Forte. That just happened as you rolled that natty 1 stealth. What would you like to do?
If that's part of my movement, I only get one more square.
Sure.
So move one more square up. I will hold dodge action.
Okay. Professor Bark, you can go ahead and take your turn here.
Is it making fight at us?
It looks as though it is going to begin to come your way.
Oh no. With candy?
It does not appear to have any candy on its person without a check.
Trick or treat.
We'll make an investigation check, see if he has some candy. I am delaying while I'm deciding what to do. I think I got nothing to do.
You're a big boy. Knock over some bones on him or something.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm literally an NPC. This encounter.
You have a warhammer. Nobody with a warhammer is an NPC.
That's all I can do. Attack.
Welcome to the martial life.
All right. I am. Is there enough room for a large creature to move around in here? Yeah. I am going to transform into a elk that looks more like a giant stag because I'm cool.
All right, is that actually giant size?
It is a large.
Okay. You shift your body, growing patches of fur beginning to cover the rest of your form as you watch Forte, Professor Bark, shifting, turning into a large stag.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Alright, cool. I'm gonna hold an action
All right.
to charge that man if he gets up on my guy.
You would probably need to get somewhere like here to do that then without having to bound over a whole bunch of obstacles.
Yeah, I suppose I can just hang out next to him. Think. Sorry. Or reach on the stuff 5 feet. That'll be good. So I'll hold a hoof attack.
All right.
To my boy.
Sure thing. The creature turns to both of you and hears you, Professor Bark, as your body shifts and transforms. Your hooves begin to clack on the ground, and it turns to you with a rictus smile full of jagged teeth, and again puts a finger up to its lips. As it does, you begin to hear whispers, both of you, in your minds. Please, both of you, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Be 13.
All right, 13, and then from Professor Bark.
I found the button. Oh, 11.
All right. Let's see here. Forte, you feel these whispers beginning to enter your mind, but you're able to shake them off. However, Professor Bark, these whispers begin to dig into your mind. Whispering sounds. Kill, stab, ram, smash. You take 8 points of psychic damage, and I need you to use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against a creature you can reach, which would be Forte.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Wow.
That's 5 to hit. With rolls, you should be alright. Plus 5.
At disadvantage, I'm dodging.
it's not going to get worse than that, but 9.
9.
Oh,
9 will miss.
All right. With a 9, Professor Bart lowers his head, Forte, as you see a set of antlers trying to come gore at you, but you're able to kind of throw up your armor and bounce it off. The creature simply stays where it is.
It's a lot of... No,
Another
stop.
one
What are you
pushes through
doing?
a set of doors.
okay, so I would have had to do a actual Professor Bark melee attack because that killed the deer instantly.
Oh.
Wait.
Hmm?
Oh. Okay. Let's do that melee roll again, just in case.
I mean, I just had those rolls. I don't roll higher than that.
Okay. Another humanoid-like being, without a single sound, pushes open one of the wooden doors towards the back of the room and floats through as it silently closes back. The being looks over at what is happening. First over at the one next to it, as the one next to it points at the two of you, and then back over. It puts one of the books it holds underneath its arm, kind of grasping it in its armpit, and holds a finger up to its mouth. With that, I'm going to need both of you again to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh my god. Oh, this is awful.
Oh, Forte. Nothing getting in your head.
Cannot get in my head if I'm so absent-minded.
Generally, it's all right if you take a melee attack from me. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, just stay close.
Again, 8 points of psychic damage, Professor Bark, as the whispers of violence enter your mind and you feel yourself involuntarily striking towards Forte.
Huzzah! Disadvantage. Disadvantage. That didn't work.
Staff!
I
What the-
believe you, Kyle. You can
That's
make
the-
the same rolls you always make. You can do it.
There's a 17, which misses, and a 7. Yeah!
No dice there.
All right. Again, Forte, you see Professor Bark, his eyes darting back and forth, almost as if distracted by something. You probably thinking this has something to do with the sounds he's hearing in his mind. He attempts to just sort of, almost in a pale zombie-like manner, strike at you, but you're able to rebound again. Something these creatures are doing likely has some effect on what's happening to each of you. You are unsure how to deal with them just yet, unable to speak and use the verbal portion of your spells as you both contemplate what to do next. Opie, Lincoln, you stand in the atrium. It is deathly quiet. What would you like to do?
They're gone. Here, allow me to lift you, frog child.
Perfect.
I lift Opie up to mouth level of this thing
Sure.
to finagle out some teeth.
Opie tries to pry like one of the big teeth off.
You go to pry one of the teeth out, Opie, and as you just sort of grab the tip of it, you feel the whole head structure begin to shift just a little. This thing is old, and with one wrong move, feels like maybe you could topple this thing over. If you want to pull a tooth out, there's going to be a sleight of hand check.
Can Lincoln help guide her to assist because he's trained in it?
If you're trained in it, then yeah.
That'll be a 22 then?
Okay.
Good.
Opie, you grab at a large incisor, kind of sticking sharply out of the dragon's bony jaw, and even though the entire head sort of creaks on this very old-looking rickety pole that sort of holds it up just below the kind of like Adam's apple area of where the neck would be, you're able to, with a slight pop, pull this tooth out. You now have a tooth of a skeletonized or scalified, whatever you want to call it, version of a Jabberwock.
Look at this, Mr. Lincoln. It's so thick.
This is good. Hold it close. It is probably valuable. And it is also pretty.
Yeah.
With our tooth secured, we go to the cosmology section.
Okay.
But as we're walking back, Opie wants to check out this, like, it looks like a map back here.
Sure.
Yeah, let's look at the map.
There is some luminescence to the map at the back of the room here that just gives it this almost ethereal light as it is crafted on this table that sits up at about probably, waist length for you, Lincoln, but for Opie probably a little higher than that. It appears to be makeup of not just the Forlorn Passage, but a very large portion of the geography surrounding the area that you're in of the entire Celestial Cradle itself. You can see the legend on the guide lets you know that while this map is flat, it's actually showcasing a sort of 360 view of the celestial ring that this one is currently on. Because, as you know, in the Celestial Cradle, these whole areas are a series of concentric rings. So this map is displaying it flat for you, but this would be sort of like the entire band of a section that would go around 360 degrees, just sort of pulled off and laid flat so that you can see it. A lot of it is bodies of water, surprisingly enough, and you can kind of see areas of land here. There's a small guide that denotes a couple different things. You can actually see in one section of the land here the Forlorn Passage itself.
Wow, I wonder where my village is. Okay.
Lincoln has nothing to add to that. He doesn't know where your village is either. Why would Lincoln know?
Because I wasn't okay to that necessarily. I was just thinking of anything else we could do with this map, but I guess we don't really.
A nice map.
Okay.
To the cosmology section.
You take the left entrance or right entrance?
Ooh, coin flip. Eeny, meeny, miny, left.
All right. Both of you enter through towards the leftern set of stairs that begin to lead up, almost as it curls, leading up towards a second floor. As you continue to head on, pressing forward, the sound of your footsteps begins to drown out. There is a sudden still quietness in the air as you continue to go, both you and Opie, up the stairs, Lincoln. You both eventually find yourselves coming to the top and finding yourselves in a new room of the Codices cosmology section. You can see what appears to be obviously walls lined with books. You see towards the center what appears to be a sort of rounded wooden case full of books, and up above it, although you can't necessarily see it here because of the way that the flat mapping works, but you can see displayed above this kind of circular bookcase that winds around towards the center of the room a vast and glowing looking orrery that displays not just the Celestial Cradle, but several celestial bodies that likely make up the area around probably Jaydra and the Twixt, etc., that are displayed just sort of hanging in the air, attached to large iron bars that sort of run back down into a center point that seems beyond your view.
Okay. I'm guessing at some point Lincoln would turn to Opie and try to whisper something to him, and then we have the thing that happened in the other.
Yes, you go to say something, Lincoln, and nothing comes out. Your voice is silent and mute.
I mean, Jason, what are we looking for here?
Here in the cosmology section, I think you're looking for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, perfect.
Was the frog able to come with us?
Did you bring the frog?
Yeah, Opie has the frog, yeah.
The frog is sort of bounding up and down in its cage. You see its throat sort of open up as if to make the burbot sound, but nothing comes out.
Lincoln does like a pantomime, like open the cage and like a frog hopping motion with one of his skeletal hands.
Okay, Opie opens the cage. If the frog king dies, Jason.
Lincoln just looks dourly at the frog and points towards the nearest group of books.
You open these small little wooden cage doors to the Toad King's cage, and you watch as the small emerald frog pops out and begins to bound just a little outside. It stops for a second. You can see its eyes sort of independently looking around the room, and it turns this way and begins to hop forward.
I mean, Opie would be following right behind him, but probably like stealthily.
Sure.
The image is ending for me. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I have to do this manually just because it's that weird fog of war instead of dynamic lighting.
This is a really big fucking room. Okay. Lincoln doesn't know much about libraries, so if Opie has...
Neither does Opie.
They sent the two idiots to the biggest room.
I don't know what I was thinking. Like, the biggest brains going for cosmology.
Can I just do like a perception check and see if Opie sees any dangers at this point?
Sure. Yeah, let me see how far the frog can go. He popped out about here.
20 for that perception.
He can go here, so he keeps bounding. 5, 10, 15, 20. As you peer around Opie, trying to see if there is any dangers that may be around in this area, you hear absolutely nothing, save for just a second ago, you hear the soft sound of a page turning from a book. That is all you hear. Outside of that, you hear nothing. It is deadly silent here.
Does Opie get any sense of what direction it came from?
What was the check? What was the total?
20.
It appears to be coming from somewhere closer towards the center of the room, though you cannot see. You do see a ladder here that's attached to the nearby wall that would probably let you be able to see over this area, but you can't see over it right now. You can just kind of see where it goes, probably up about like 10 feet, and then obviously seems to come to a flat top.
Okay. Opie's gonna tap on Lincoln's shoulder and try to communicate that he heard something over in that direction. Opie's all for it. He's like,
Lincoln will start moving in that direction, and he'll climb the ladder quietly.
Give me a stealth check if you're doing it quietly.
And Opie's gonna stay like right with the frog.
Okay.
Sorry, I rolled in roll 20. The total's 15. I rolled an 8 plus 7, so 15.
You very quietly, being very tempered in your steps up this ladder, as you can kind of hear with your weight. Although I don't know, is Lincoln moves silently, but is Lincoln heavy or light?
I guess he's light, and then he has bones, but he's got a bunch of other extra bones hanging off of him and like bells and shit. So he's probably pretty heavy.
So you move silently. However, your weight here on the ladder, you can hear the soft creak, and you try to mute it, being very tempered in your steps up, as you are able to crawl on top, and that's going to let you see much more here because you'd be on top of these bookcases. I'm going to say you can see this.
Oh.
You notice the spiraling center of the bookcases, and here you can see some form of humanoid-like creature that is floating in the air with its back turns towards you. It appears to be almost lifting a finger towards a row of books and almost counting them as it moves its fingers across. It holds a couple books in its hands. It has not noticed you yet. It floats 1 foot off the ground in what looks like formal attire of maybe like a library attendant, and it is completely silent. It makes no sound at all.
I mean, it looks like something to kill. It's got sharp teeth and it's floating like me, which is never good.
I think everything looks like something to kill to Lincoln.
Yeah, well, you know. I look back to Opie and I do this like one.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna kind of just like creep here and like try to like keep an eye on Opie as he travels around. But I'm gonna kind of like stay on the edge and kind of crouch down and hopefully stay quiet.
I'd say you can do that with your check.
And then I'll wait for Opie and the frog to catch up.
Opie, what are you doing?
He's just gonna follow closely behind the frog, assuming that the frog knows where it's going.
Frog seems determined. It actually stops every row of books and like takes a second to swivel its head and then keeps moving as if it's actually searching through the books, maybe trying to remember. The frog gets to about right here and appears around the corner and then stops, looking at you, Opie, and then bounding back a little bit.
Okay, Opie's gonna carefully peer around the corner then.
Give me a stealth check, please.
13?
You peer around the corner, Opie, and there you see up ahead the creature as described before, as well as the start of the curl of the interior of this sort of winding bookcase that's at the center of the room. The creature sits in the center of the room. It slowly folds one page to another in a book that it has open in one of its hands. It floats a foot off the ground. It is looking over this way and does not notice you with that check.
If Opie can see Lincoln from where he is,
You'd be able to where he is, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna point him out.
And Lincoln will take one of his bone shards and drag it across his throat and then cock his head.
Okay. This is gonna be interesting.
If you seem receptive to it, Lincoln is gonna sneak down to here and start throwing some knives at this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Opie seems receptive to it. Before you do anything crazy, though, Opie's gonna gesture to the Frog King to like hide.
The Frog King, you actually see the Frog King nod at you, and it begins to bound over here and actually hides underneath this chair.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Opie's just gonna follow Lincoln's direction then, I think.
In that case, Lincoln's just gonna throw some daggers at this guy.
All right.
And that,
Do it.
this one I have advantage. Hiya! 16.
16 versus AC will hit.
Okay. I take the dagger back and it flies back to my hand and I throw it again.
All right.
15.
15 hits.
Man, that's awesome. And then I'll throw a little normal bone shard with my offhand. 11.
11, unfortunately, will go a little wide.
That's okay. That's going to be 20 damage all day. Ooh, if it is psychic.
your blade sinks into the back of the creature, once pulling back to your hand to fling twice, pulling back. You throw a third bone blade. It goes a little wide, bouncing off a few books at the far wall. One of the books topples over onto the ground as the being...
It's Mr. Frog's Wild Ride, right?
No, it's not. The being turns towards you and, almost unfazed by your attack, holds a hand up to its mouth in a shushing manner. It looking your way, Lincoln. You begin to hear the sounds of whispers in your mind that begin to grow into a howl of a mixture of babbles. I need you to please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Now, Jason, is this a charm effect?
This is not.
God damn it. Seems like every player effect is a charm effect and none of the enemies are.
Sorry, there's a wide range of enemies in this campaign.
Oh, it's a 5. It's a 5. It's a 5, Jason.
It's all right. You hear the sound in your mind only and not audible of this howling babble that screeches in whatever area of your body that you hear noises from, since you're just made of bones. You take 17 points of psychic damage.
Jesus!
And you are stunned
damn.
until the end of the creature's next turn.
Holy fuck! Okay. Well.
Does Opie get a turn now?
Opie, save me.
You watch as Lincoln goes to kind of grip at its area where its ears would be if it was a living creature. Although Lincoln makes no noise. You don't hear anything. It is your turn, Opie.
Okay, 2 arrows at this thing. That's gonna be a crit fail,
All right.
11, and then a 26.
Make me one more attack roll.
Don't you hit me, Opie. Don't you hit me, Opie.
24.
24
Opie!
versus Lincoln's AC. I'm
that
sure
hits.
that'll hit. All right. One of them hits the creature. However, another one, because Lincoln is very much in the way of the trajectory with that natty 1, takes the other, striking him instead of the creature.
Okay, so for the creature, that's 11 piercing.
You see
What's your
the
bug
arrow,
stuff?
as you fire it off, just sinks right into the chest of the creature.
Plus what?
Your bug stuff.
Oh, yeah. Plus bug stuff. That's another 3, so that's 14 piercing. And then Lincoln is only 6
Hey,
piercing.
Boy,
Could be worse.
I am bloodied.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Yeah, 17 psychic really takes it out of you.
Yeah.
And that's it for Opie.
You watch, Opie, as another creature, the one Lincoln pointed out to you, floats out silently from around the corner. It looks at the one that you just fired an arrow into, Opie. You watch as the creature grips its hand around the arrow and pulls it out and silently sets it to the ground, and now looks at you, Opie, with a rictus smile, holding a finger up to its lips to shush you.
Oh.
As you all consider what to do with Lincoln in his current state, and you being the only one in the room besides him, unsure what to do, as you consider your next move, we will move to the final team.
Like Wild Man.
Tyne, Uncle Jimmy, you ascend the stairs leading to a new area that, as far as you can tell, appears to lead up to the second floor. As you continue to step up the stairs, the sound of your footsteps begins to grow quieter and quieter, almost being muffled out. You finally reach a open area here at the top of these steps. You can see now, as you peer around in this area, looking around, you can see there is a front desk as well as always, around through most of this place, walls lined with separate books. There's a pair of doors that seems to be set right here, and two what look to be sort of like statuesque figures clad in armor that appear to have some candlelight sort of giving the room a little bit of a soft lighting. Now that you have reached the periodicals, what would you like to do?
Which mission was here? What were we doing?
Periodicals
Was for Serenade to get a book that would hopefully give you information on where the headquarters of the base of the Blightners is.
Space. Tyne would look at Jimmy and then go to try to ask, what do you think we should start? But
Yeah, very good. You then realize that no words come out of your mouth. Uncle Jimmy, you see Tyne go to say something to you, and at first you think, well, of course, Tyne speaks 1 minute every single word, but then you do see his mouth moving, but no sound comes out.
I naturally reply and notice the same thing. I'm gonna do a hand gesture to him and just kind of shrug and go, like, let's be quiet anyways. And look at the left and the right and like gesture for him to go to one side and I'll go to the other.
Tyne's gonna point at the desk and start here, but otherwise understands.
Moving silently if that's possible.
Absolutely. Give me stealth checks. $17 stealth from Uncle Jimmy, 4 from Tyne. Go ahead and move your characters where you were naturally hoping to start your search.
I would like to note that if I'm looking for books, I'm also looking for any that mention the word Twilight or Marauder on it.
Okay, you'd probably need to get a little closer to that section to see the full lining on the wall.
I'll get to noticing the statue. I'll just take a few more steps and stop there.
All right. Give me a perception check, Uncle Jimmy.
These rolls are hot garbage. Nothing over a 10.
I mean, 16's still not terrible. You peer around, you don't see any information here that relates to any of those things you were mentioning. What'd you say? Witchlight Marauders, what else?
Or the book we were looking for.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Twilight also.
And Twilight, yeah, you see neither of those things here. And the book that you're hunting for that may have information leading to the Blightners does. None of the titles on the spines gives you the sense that they might be something worth peeking at. Tyne, you come over to the table, and as you come over and place a hand on some of the few books on the stand, they were sort of shifted just enough at the edge of the table that unfortunately, as you're looking through, your hand slips and a book falls down to the ground. You think nothing of it at first other than the deafening sound being sort of cut through with this. But as you finish pushing through the doors is a creature that I've explained before, that you see the same thing as the others do. It notices the both of you and holds a finger up to its mouth. And it is going to move, let's see, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 right here. It moves to right here. You watch Uncle Jimmy as this creature silently floats through the air over towards Tyne, and with a sharp claw runs it across the throat area of Tyne. It is completely silent, but you can feel the fingernails scratching across, and that's going to be, let's see here, 15 versus AC Tyne.
Yeah. unlike leather armor.
I forgot my
Hide.
throat guard today.
You don't feel any physical damage across your throat, but the look pasted on the face of this thing, mixed with the slashing across your throat just quickly in a lightning speed with no sound at all, is such a maddening view of things that you take 17 points of psychic damage. And I'll give each of you a turn before we shift. Again, what would you like to do? Either of you, whichever one can go, and then the other one will go.
I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna go ahead and wild shape. One action of that, change into a panther, medium-sized beast.
You go to growl back at the humanoid, but no sound comes out. But you are a panther.
Yeah. I will. I think I get 2 attacks. No, I just get 1. Yeah. Otherwise, I need 2. Okay. Use my claw attack. 6 to hit. I'm sure misses.
That one unfortunately misses.
Yeah.
Simply floats back out of the way, pulling itself back into position.
That'll be it, I think. You know what? I'm going to. Do I want to risk the opportunity attack? My AC. I'll stay here, I guess.
Okay. Tyne shifts into a panther creature and throws a claw at this humanoid, but misses. Uncle Jimmy, you're up.
I'm gonna move over to here and take 2 shots at him, at the weird teethed monster creature thing.
Your first attack goes wide, missing. The second one hits. Your bolt, the second one flies, striking it right in the chest for how much?
13 total.
Strikes it right directly in the chest for 13. It looks down and grips the bolt, pulling it out of its body, and sets it quietly on the table before holding a finger up to you towards its mouth, Uncle Jimmy. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Considering your immediate run-in with these creatures and unsure what to do next, we go back to the exhibition room. Top of the round, Professor Bark Forte, what would you like to do? 2 have entered the room now, and now stand staring your way.
Forte is going to 7. I thought it was shorter distance. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get there, but I'm gonna try to get as close as possible. Forte will spring into action. I'm gonna chug. Hold this on the table for a second. I'm gonna use the potion of speed. Was it called, or potion of swiftness?
Swiftness, I think.
Swiftness for plus 10 move.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna put me up to. That's gonna put me up to 35 move.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick one of these 2 to get an extra 30 move. So that's gonna put me at 65 move.
Woohoo! That's a good move.
So that should put me at 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 65.
They both watch as you, downing this potion, move with a swiftness across the room, clattering in your armor. Both of them look to you and hold a finger up to their mouths as you approach.
I will have anything that I can do a bonus action with. I'm gonna take dodge again because moving into range and taking melee is not gonna be good.
Okay. You do that. Sorry, I removed your symbol. I thought that was one I may have put on there. Professor Bark, you're
Oh,
up.
that's how. Yeah, you can do that one. I'll do this.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, and that's my card.
Professor
I
Bark,
don't have an
you may
extra
go now.
bonus action, so.
Professor Bark is going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this up above? Can I walk through this?
Yeah, you can.
6. And then this snake head, is that up above? What I'm looking to do here is, do I have a direct line of sight on this?
You do.
guy?
Yeah, they're not really blocked enough to have any cover here. These are like
Well,
they're
because I'm going to use catapult, so it actually has to.
yeah,
travel
no, it's
through.
fine. There's a bunch of skeletal forms here, but they're all like hanging with some elevation off of like either on a stand or through these poles, these thin poles that run up. So there's space underneath.
Sweet. I am going to do that thing. What I said. I'm going to pull out a piton
Nice.
and shoot, wing it at your boy up there. Where's catapult? Catapult level 2. Cast spell at normal, and that's going to be at this guy. So it has to make a D13 deck save. Otherwise, takes 15 bludgeoning damage.
All right, deck save incoming. Fails.
Suck it. 15 bludgeoning right to the face.
In fact, the piton fires off, and you watch as it lands, catching in the neck of the creature. It turns to you now, where it was once looking at Forte, and holds a finger up to its lips.
I use my bonus action to transform into a panther. And
All right.
move the last 10 that allows me to do. It's
All
a
right.
medium creature.
You do that thing.
And I'm just going to take its hit points. I'm not going to roll.
All right. Anything else?
That will be all for me.
There is a growing howling in your ears, Forte. A babbling in your mind that begins to build up. I need a wisdom saving throw.
24.
All right.
Aces.
Let me see here. You take 8 points of psychic damage as you largely resist the babbling in your mind. One of them begins to float listlessly through the air. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can make an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Absolutely, please. It'd be a 19
That'll hit.
for 7 bludgeon.
What are you using? Your maul? Or your warhammer?
Warhammer one-handed.
You strike it in the back hard as it begins to fly past that and stops here. It points a finger towards you, Professor Bark. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Roll like it. Whiz bang. Whiz bang.
Panthers are wise, right?
Bang. It uses
Oh,
Bark's mental stats. 13. Let's make it 14.
Bark's wise, right?
In that case, you take 6 points of psychic damage, largely resisting the howling babbles in your mind. Both of you pressing forward, attempting to take down these figures who have heard your noise making and have attempted to silence you in their own way. You move over to the cosmology room. Opie, Lincoln, you're up.
Save me, Opie. I'm stunned. I can't do anything.
Oh yeah. I was gonna
Stun is
ask.
brutal when there's only 2 people.
I was gonna ask which one of us goes first, but
I do. I am no longer stunned. There. No, it's till the end of his turn. It's not even till the end of my turn.
Yeah.
I have kind of a crazy question.
Okay.
And are these things moving, the planets?
No, the planets are all stationary. They're just sort of like displayed up in the air using these large metal rods that connect to like a center that's up top, kind of where Lincoln was, 10 feet up.
So this guy is standing beneath one of the planets.
Yes.
Oh, I like where your head's at, Opie.
Opie wants to try to hit the metal rod so
Okay.
that the planet falls.
Okay, sure. I'll let you do an attack roll against it.
Okay.
Where your head's at.
24.
24
yeah.
will hit. Let's see that damage.
That is 13. Yeah.
Opie turns the corner and aims first at this creature, but you watch Lincoln in your stunned state as he repositions and fires a shot at the metal rod holding one of the larger globes above the head of this creature. The shot connects, and you see the arrow connect, and as it does, there is a cracking as the old beam here begins to give way, and the large planet begins to topple over, falling down onto the top of the creature, knocking it prone.
Oh, yeah.
Holy yeah.
It was awesome.
Be silent.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of
then-
noise.
Opie has another attack, so he's just gonna shoot for the one that isn't prone. The other one. 23.
Oh, that'll hit.
9 piercing plus 2 from my swarm, so 11.
All right, you fire off a shot, your buzzing swarm dealing a little bit of extra annoyance damage as you do hit the other one. Anything else, Opie?
That's it from Opie.
The one not covered in the remains of a crushed globe that sits around it turns. Lincoln, you find yourself being able to kind of shake off the sensation of being stunned as its turn starts. It looks past you, Lincoln, towards Opie and holds a finger up to its mouth in a shushing manner as it begins to move 5, 10, 15, 20. You can make an attack of opportunity if you like.
I would like that very much. I fail miserably.
You swing, but just coming out of your stupor misses. The creature goes right by you, though, Lincoln. 25, 30, 35, and flies up to you, Opie, and uses a single finger and rakes it across your throat. For 14 versus AC.
Misses.
Yeah, dodge it.
You pull back quickly. The other creature pushes very silently the crushed globe off of its body, and you see it begin to ascend into the air a foot off the ground, levitating.
Get crushed, stupid.
It moves 5, 10, 15, 20. You get an attack of opportunity, Lincoln, as it moves past you.
I already used my reaction and failed miserably, you'll find.
It needs to double move because that was what it took to get back up. So it moves 5, 10, and holds another finger up to its mouth at you, Opie.
Leave Opie alone!
Protect the child.
Leave Brittany alone.
Seeing that they are both beginning to assault Opie Lincoln, you consider protecting the child. But first, the periodicals. Uncle Jimmy, Tyne, both of you are up. What would you like to do?
Don't all jump at once.
I guess I would just take another claw attack.
Slim.
Claw.
There he is.
No, I heard you. I honestly have no clue what the hell we're gonna get out of it.
You look like you were asleep.
You're a rogue. Shoot it with your bow. That's the thing that you do.
Knowledge checks are free. Tyne, you swing away. It misses, though, as the creature just shifts in the air silently.
A knowledge check then to see if I've ever seen anything like this, at least.
Sure, a history check would probably be your best bet, but I'll take other checks if you can convince me.
That's a big old 13.
You have never seen a creature like this, Uncle Jimmy. Maybe stuff that moves like this in such a strange, unnerving manner. This is like the stuff of folk tales that you tell to children to scare them at night.
Bagul. Gotcha.
Spaghetti.
Then I'll research it with my crossbow.
128th give you a +1.
Oh.
Hits.
It's a big old 13.
Another bolt catches into the shoulder of the creature.
And a second shot. I'll use the +1 on this because I want to make sure it hits. Another 18.
That'll hit as well. 2 bolts fly off, passing by Tyne and connecting, one in the shoulder and then one towards the side of the waist of the creature.
And that's just 8 piercing damage on that one.
All right.
That's it for my attack. I'm gonna hold my position though.
All right. You stay calm where you are. The creature uses its bonus action to pull one of the bolts out of its shoulder and silently sets it on the table and holds up a finger, probably at both of you, Tyne and Jimmy, since you're kind of both in that way, and then rakes another hand towards you, Tyne, for 19 versus AC.
Yeah.
That is 11 points of psychic damage.
Got 2 HP left as the pen.
Oh, he's still up though.
Yeah, you may want to do that here. There we go. All right, Tyne, you watch as the psychic damage makes you involuntarily kind of grab at your head. You can see Uncle Jimmy. There is no blood spilling out from the raking of the claws against Tyne, but you can see it's doing something to him physically. He nearly doubles over from that second strike. And with that, you go back to exhibition.
Interstrike.
Forte, Bark. Doesn't matter which one of you goes first, just one of you and then the other.
Want to go first on, or you want me to come back?
I think it doesn't matter.
All right.
I'll go first, man. You go for it. Yeah. You were there.
Forte gonna try to pursue the one that's chasing after Bark,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll take a Warhammer swing.
Mm-hmm.
Flap.
That'll hit.
21. It'll be 4 bludgeoning damage.
You catch it in its shoulder and smash hard with your warhammer. The creature sways just a little bit to the side.
I cannot do anything else.
All right. Then Professor Bark, you're up.
I do a bite. And I do a claw. And the bite was a 12 and the claw was a 9. Get fucked, everybody.
Oh no, both of those missing. The creature lifts a hand up to its mouth to show the silent symbol. It strikes your way, Professor Bark. That is going to be probably not a hit. That's going to be 12 versus AC.
Hey, I'm a little bitty panther.
Oh no.
I said panther, but I've been reading Black Bear, so I meant Black Bear when I said panther.
Oh, okay.
It's just a
Okay.
slightly bigger panther. What's the
that's-
big deal?
Slightly
Is
bigger
that large
panther,
size?
But either way, it does hit me. No, it's a medium. Like
Okay,
everything
okay.
has been right besides what I've called it. It is a black bear.
It strikes across your black bear throat. Though not dealing any damage with its sharpened claws, you certainly take 13 points of psychic damage.
Oh, no longer bear. Oh, I should have used my. Oh. No longer bear, so don't worry about all that stuff that I did. I'm good at this game, you guys.
They have Ursine Slayer fingertips. You die immediately.
Forte, you turn just in time to see one of the creatures behind you making the swing with its arm your way for 19 versus AC.
Matches.
Oh.
It catches you across the throat. You expect blood to spill as it scrapes across skin, but instead you end up taking 13 points of psychic damage as your mind reels from it touching across. It then pulls its hand up to its face. Cosmology.
Oh, and speak a prayer. Oh, that's a bummer.
I'm muted.
Well. So they keep shushing us, but we're already being quiet. No.
I mean, they look like they're getting kind of hurt, right, Jason? They don't look like
Make a medicine check.
invincible. Oh, God.
I believe in you, Opie. Make that medicine check.
11.
Opie, you can see them pretty clearly since they're right in front of you, and you dropped an entire globe on one and have nailed another with an arrow. You do not see any sign of damage on them.
What?
I was afraid of that.
Ah, fucking A.
Not that you can see with an 11.
I don't know what to do other than, like, run, but I don't know, like, another good hit would drop me, so...
Hold on, I want to go back to that poem.
Got it. Hang on.
Is there anything in the poem?
Here is the thing.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, but...
They might just be relentless until you actually put your hands on the prize.
But that doesn't make sense. Why would they stop attacking us when we grabbed the one book that we're looking for out of the entirety of the library?
My poof, huh?
And knowledge checks are free. You can make whatever checks you want.
Opie's gonna put his hands up and put his finger in front of his mouth.
Hey, that might work.
Okay. You do that. Anything else, Opie?
No.
All right. Lincoln, you're still up.
I'm gonna stab them and see
Sure.
if it's.
We're sending mixed messages here. Like,
Well, I mean, I don't know. You're doing that, but maybe they'll focus on me or something. I don't know. Okay, Lincoln's gonna take out a potion and drink it, and then start running and hope that Opie, his plan works, because I don't know, man. All right, I'm using the regular potion of healing that I got from somebody, Forte, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 6. Puts me back above bloodied. That's good. Can I take a quick look around the room and see if I see any frog-like books, maybe with frog-like symbols on them or anything like that?
You'd have to use an action to search.
Oh,
but
God,
but you
forget
could
it
do
then.
that. You could do that. But you just need to use an action to do it. So it'd be technically a search.
I already used an action to,
Yeah.
to
No,
drink a potion.
Yeah. It's just
all
because
right.
there's so many books lined here on the walls with so many spines. You need to at least spend your full action to quickly scan the spines to see if anything would remind you of that.
All right. Lincoln's going to look at you and just point the other direction, and then he's going to run the opposite direction.
Okay.
Look out behind you. I'm out.
But specifically, I guess Lincoln puts the bottle back in like his robe to where it doesn't, like he doesn't drop it on the ground to make more noise. He's trying to interpret what Opie is doing.
Okay.
As we should be quiet, but I threw knives at them and that doesn't make a whole lot of noise, and they attacked us anyways. So, I don't know. Well, we'll see. That's it for me, man.
The creatures, Opie, see that you put your finger up to your lips. And they turn and they begin to move. Attack of opportunity.
They're just angry like librarians. No attack of opportunity.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. This one pulls up to you, Lincoln, floating. It leans in close. Its mouth grows wide with jagged teeth as it puts a finger up to its lips.
He's got 40 move speed. Jesus Christ.
5. Attack of opportunity.
No.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. This one does the exact same thing, staring directly into your eyes, Lincoln. They are done.
Lincoln just waves.
Periodicals.
Okay, yeah.
We'll come back around. Tyne, Uncle Jimmy. Either of you can go, and then the other one will go, but then it is the creature's turn. What would you like to do?
Uncle Jimmy would like to walk a little bit further forward. Use his long, creepy, awful bugbear arm and put a finger in front of the cat's mouth and one in front of his.
Mm.
And
Okay.
wait.
All right. Then, Tyne, you are up.
Time.
Or
Does nothing?
Okay. Is that it for you?
Yes.
The creature looks at you, Tyne, and then sees you, Uncle Jimmy, using your long, gross, extendy arms to throw up a hand towards Tyne. And a big, toothy grin forms on its face. Exhibition!
Professor.
Hey. I don't think Professor Bark would think that that is the solution at this point, but it is, so I don't know what to do.
Flip for it.
Well, you know, but your characters don't know, so
Right.
it's up to you. If you think that your character would not make any knowledge checks and continue to try to batter down one of these creatures, then go for it. If you think that they'd, if you want to sort of at least let them make a knowledge check, then you could do so. Maybe let the die decide what your character does. It's up to you.
The only thing Forte would do is insight. He didn't really have any skill checks, so
Oh no, Forte.
yeah, he's not very people smart.
I think medicine check if it's no, they're not taking any damage. It just
As far as you
I
can
don't
tell,
know.
Professor Bark, despite all the hits, especially some from the Warhammer of Forte, they do not seem to have any damage on their forms, even the exposed parts.
Yeah, take your turn.
21 insight. What are you trying to figure out that insight, Forte?
So if they're not showing any physical damage,
You hit
Are
that
they-
one like in the shoulder, and it barely moved a little bit Forte last turn, and it didn't even turn around to view you. Like, it meant nothing to it.
so it's not effective.
As far as you can tell. Either that or it's really stubborn and just doesn't care about the damage it takes.
Yeah, why not? So they're still actively attacking.
Well, they are watching what you do first. It is your turns first.
Forte looks at Professor Blackbear and holds his hands up.
All at high or low?
Low.
Good to go low. Professor Burke puts his hands up as the bear form fades from him and just takes one step back.
Okay.
Not an actual step in game, just
Sure,
like a,
sure. Yeah, like a still in the 5-foot space step back.
Yeah.
It is the creature's turn. Unless you want to do anything else.
We have we get some sort of like writ for these quests or something, right?
Ooh, what do you mean by writ?
Like a scroll or something with
The job board posting.
Yeah. You to take the jobs, you're just like pulling the scroll like off the parchment off the board and literally taking it with you. Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that Professor Burke could think of would be like, look, we're looking for something. It's just so he would just pull it out and point at it.
Okay. You watch, and that's the one for I believe that's the one for Chud.
Picture book chud.
Yeah. It's picture books.
You watch the creature leans in, Professor Bark. A large, jagged, wide mouth of teeth forms on its face as it grins at you. It leans in and stares over the parchment you have. It looks to the other, and then they both simultaneously point to the double doors at the back end, before turning back to both of you, one towards you, Bark, one towards you, Forte, and with a smile, put their finger to their lips.
A smile you've ever seen goes over Professor Burke's face, and he
Their turns are done. Cosmology.
Since the things walked away, Opie's gonna go as quietly as he can
Okay.
and gather up the Toad King
Mm-hmm.
in his arms and like tell him to be quiet. And then it's gonna start as quickly as he can, but like more importantly, as quietly as he can, start perusing these aisles
Okay.
with the Toad King.
Okay. Are you like
Look,
rushing? Are you like running? Or are you just walking?
No, like it's more important to be quiet. So like walking.
Give me a perception check.
You know, I'm gonna use my advantage.
Oh, okay. Probably not a bad idea.
19.
Opie, you spend some time searching the shelves over on this side. You kind of see Lincoln as Opie's moving through, trying to be quick but not loud as Opie searches. With your 19, you peruse the spines, Opie, and hopefully you can read as opposed to
He
6.
can read. He
Okay,
can
I hope
read.
he can read. You
It's
don't.
6 I can't read.
Yeah. You don't see anything that reminds you of anything that'd be related to even just toads or anything, but with your perception check, you notice that down in the wooden cage, or I guess in your arms, you see the toad waving at you, and it points over this way.
Over what way?
Over this way.
Okay. Then as quietly as I can, I start to head that way.
And I would say at this point, Opie, Lincoln, what would you both like to do? You can do stuff too, Lincoln. And you're on mute right now.
Yeah, you're on mute.
So
Sorry.
seeing Opie kind of looking at the books, right?
Yeah.
Lincoln will just look at these guys and just stare at him quietly. He's not even gonna move a muscle. He's just gonna look at him.
Standing there menacingly.
They stare at you for a second and then just sort of turn to view Opie, just watching her as they listlessly float in the air. Watching him, rather, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Opie as quietly as he like possibly can. Like he's practically gonna tiptoe over there.
Okay. Give me a stealth check at advantage to get over here.
Oh Lord. 15.
15's better than
Yeah.
5.
Tiptoeing, you're fine. You find
Okay.
yourself in sort of like a winding, rounded set of lined book walls here. You can make another perception check if you'd like.
4.
You're having a little trouble. You see Lincoln, the Opie's looking around and is unable to really find any book that you guys need for the wild ride. Would you like to do anything?
What about the Toad King though? Can
The
he
Toad
find it?
King is also kind of peering around. He actually plops out of your hand and begins searching the bookcase.
Can I glance over and like make a perception check on this bookshelf? Like not even like really moving my head that much, just like side eyeing it.
I would say to keep the ball rolling here, you've searched this area. It appears that maybe it's just the
okay.
rounded area in the center that needs searching.
Then in that case, can I take a very slow, cautious step backward as stealthily and quietly as possible?
Okay. You do so, and at this point you realize as you look back over to the area over here, remembering your first 2 knife strikes were very quiet, but the third one that missed did knock over one of the books off of the bookshelves and made a sound.
Shit.
The 2 of them look at you with a smile on their faces, but they don't approach you at all. They let you step back. And you do so as you do, very quietly.
In that case, I'm gonna try to move 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 up here and see if I can survey the other side, maybe?
That's what you see over there.
I'm not... I think at this point, I want to dash, but I want to do so quietly. I don't think there's a rule against that, right? I'm just doubling my movement speed. So
Yeah, it's
I'm
just an unfortunate name.
I'm doing more quiet movement down to the other side here.
I would say traversing up the stairs, and you can decide whether you want to do this or not, and then going down the other side of the ladder would require a stealth check, but at advantage since you are moving slowly. You're not trying to make sound.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I will do that so I can move down the other ladder.
Sure. Then yeah, just give me a stealth check, but you get it at advantage since you're really focusing on not making noise.
I just realized I'm rolling in here because my Beyond 20 thing isn't working right
It's
now.
not working for anybody. In my pro DM games, everybody's having trouble using it for whatever reason.
Well, that stinks. Anyway, I got a 22.
Yeah, you're fine. You move very stealthily.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And unfortunately, I can't do another search action since I spent my whole turn sneaking.
Yeah, that's fine. You both continue to search, realizing now that provided you may remain quiet, you may be able to do this successfully. Periodicals. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna look over at the cat and continue with like the hushed tone, like the finger up, but like keep your voice down, don't do anything. And then just look at the monster. If he's not hostile, I'm gonna start walking to the other side and looking for the book.
He is staring directly into your eyes, but only his head moving as it sort of cocks with you with a smile on his face. But he does not approach, he does not attack.
And move to there and then take an investigation or perception check, whichever you prefer.
Well, you could do either of those. Those will give you different things. There's also a ladder over here too.
Oh no!
No luck over here.
Welcome to the Halloween episode where the scariest things are the rolls.
Hey.
Ty, what would you like to do?
I guess I saw it looked like Jimmy had checked this other area, or I guess he didn't really get a chance before.
He technically did.
Oh, okay. Is this a book just sitting on a pedestal?
There's like a book on display here. There's a scroll, a set of double doors here at the middle area.
I'm gonna come out of the panther form.
Okay.
And then I want to go, I guess, check out the book. Do I need to try to move silently again?
No. Only in specific actions do you need to make a stealth check. You're just walking quietly across the floor. You're fine.
Double move. I want to check out this book to see if it has any of that information with me before I forget what it was called.
Written on this book is an index of the various ores found in this region of the Great Doldrums. You see a catalog of the variety of what appears to be like interesting minerals and ores and things that can be found as like a natural resource here, but nothing that really lends you to believe that this is what you're looking for.
Okay, that's move in action.
Right. Okay, you both continue to search, not necessarily finding it in this area here. Exhibition.
Okay. Forte is gonna put shield on his back and kind of like hang the warhammer, hands up, and gently try and slide by Shark Mouth Man towards the doors, not breaking eye contact. 10.
You head over to the doors.
25.
I need a stealth check at advantage to open them without making a noise.
Stealth check at advantage.
At advantage.
That would be a normal roll for me. $16.
Okay. You holding some parts of your armor that would typically clank and clang, you slowly push the door open. You begin to hear the groan of the wood and then immediately stop and then do it at such a slow pace that it does not make any noise. As you push through the doors here, you see an area up ahead. A roundabout here, a fork that leads to the left and to the right, and directly up ahead of you, a large model of a tree set all around, these figures made of cloth and wood and what look to be sort of a facsimile of flying drakes and dragons. Each of them have a small little line of text written on a parchment nearby them, kind of held up with a small little tiny black string that falls from underneath them. This tree runs down into the base of this sort of uplifted, rounded area here that goes up about 5 feet. It is implanted in what looks like soft dirt that seems to kind of cover the sort of rounded display here. To the left and right of you, you see a series of books that line the walls.
Okay. The door's open enough for me to walk through?
Yep.
All right. Carefully walking through, and I'm going to start searching the right side.
Okay. Professor Bark, you can kind of do your thing too if you'd like to as well. You see this all happening. You can follow.
It's 35 movement for me.
If you're searching, you can do a perception check.
Okay.
And I'd say at this point, although we're going to sort of still give each team a certain amount of time, you don't technically have to move. Now that you have all sussed this out, you do not have to stop at your movement speed. Just tell me what you plan to do and what you're trying to do.
I'm
Forte
looking in this side, and I'll motion to Bark as he comes to the door to go the other way.
All right. Forte, with a 21 perception, you eye the books lined on the walls. None of them sound like anything relating to a picture book or something like that you'd need. However, you do notice down at your feet with a 21, it looks as though some of the dirt here was upturned and some of it sits on the carpet, and you look up now and it appears as though in this space right here there was something probably buried underneath the dirt. You see a more freshly looking mound of the dirt compared to the rest that's relatively level with the display.
Kind of want to touch it. Kind of don't want to make noise.
Touch it quietly,
Gross.
Or
like you're in the military.
I don't know how I would get Bark's attention without making noise. Stare daggers into his head until he feels uneasy. If I get his attention, point.
Do you want me to investigate the tree?
No, just go for it or not go for it.
Oh, touching stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. You do your thing, man.
Okay.
I was gonna. Well, the reason I say that is because he's probably just looking at all the birds in the trees, all the dragons in the sky.
Okay.
So he's not paying attention.
Using his gloved hands, I slowly start to play with the dirt.
Okay. You slowly use a gloved hand to very quietly shift the dirt. After 2 or 3 slow pushing away at this mound of dirt, the third push reveals a series of what look like paperback magazines. You
Oh no.
tip them as some of the dust comes off, and you see some very interesting imagery as some of these are titled Top 10 Females, The Forlorn Passage, Frisky Furbolgs, and many
Instant.
other risque titles.
What a woman!
It
You better get that
instantly dusts them off and stuffs them in his pack.
Okay.
Jesus.
You go to grab them, kind of be quietly dusting them off. As you kind of throw your hand to dust them off, one of the pages opens and like unfolds once or twice, and you see a very, very interesting looking dragonborn pair on one of these pages here, Professor Bark, as Forte quickly kind of wraps the page back up and kind of puts them in his gear.
Dragonborn, you say?
Interesting. He thinks to himself.
Word fascinating pops in your mind for no reason at all.
Fascinating.
I wonder why they have memories. They lay eggs, after all. How strange.
What do the two of you want to do?
Well, now that we've found those dirty magazines, yuck, continue on to what I was intending to do, which is search this bookshelf.
Oh, what are you searching it for?
Looking for picture books.
We found the picture books.
You get a sense that you found what you're looking for.
The dirty
Oh,
magazine.
got it. Got it.
You goober. What did you think it was?
I'm literally. I made that joke like three play sessions ago. I didn't realize it was actually the thing. I thought we were looking for.
This is my campaign. Of course it is.
Okay. That's why I like playing your games. All right. Mark. Let's go. Well, can we like single file line out? I don't think we want to loiter and try to do anything else in here because these things will definitely eat us if we mess up. So.
Picture books in hand, and 3 quotation marks from the scroll given to you. Both of you very quietly, hoping not to disturb the strange floating figures here who, as you begin to put together now, are likely the censors. You begin to move and make your way back out, having found what you're looking for. With that, as you begin to head back towards these steps, Cosmology, you're up.
Opie's just gonna continue searching this inner circle area with the Toad King.
I'm gonna say do it at advantage with a perception check now that the Toad King is along with you.
Nice.
21.
Nice.
Both of you get to about right here when the Toad King begins to bob up and down, and in the bookshelf lined on the wall you see the spine of a book that reads Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
All right. Opie's gonna quietly take it and do a thumbs up to the Toad King and, point.
He nods back at you.
I guess he can't see Lincoln, so Lincoln doesn't know to leave.
That's fine. Lincoln's gonna work his way around anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Opie's gonna go out either way. He's gonna go out the way he came in.
I would say now that you found what you're looking for, yeah, you can do what you're talking about. You not wanting to draw the ire of the censors. You wait Opie quietly as Lincoln, you search around, growing a little maybe agitated that you haven't found the book, but as you come around the corner and meet back up with Opie, you see that in his hands he has the book that you're looking for.
Nice. Now, did I find anything interesting over here on these fancy desks?
If that's the case, I'd say go ahead and give me a perception check just to see if you notice anything particularly interesting around here.
Did want to check that out. Hey, my Beyond 20's working again. 7.
Not with a 7, unfortunately.
For nothing.
Lots of stuff to read, but nothing that's like, we need to take this with us.
Boring.
All right, we leave.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Finding what you need in hand, your team begins to exit.
Must truly be a wild ride if it was in cosmology.
What would you like to do, you two?
Having not found the book, I'm going to look at the creepy spoopy man and walk over to the desk. And assuming there's an empty or blank page, I'm going to grab the quill and then wave to him, still keeping a finger up, to come closer.
Without hesitation, he floats and stares directly into your eyes, about 3 feet away from your face.
I'd like to use a sleight of hand to slowly write on an empty piece of paper, if I have to. Not to make
You
any
don't have
noise.
to. It's quiet enough.
The book we're looking for, and I, again, right at the bottom, any books on Witchlight Marauders, or any information. then look to him and shrug.
You hold the note up to the creature, and it reads it. It points first at the... hang on. You guys were searching for the... okay, so you guys were searching... It points at the information about the Blightners that you've written on the page, and points at the double doors. It then points at the Witchlight Marauder information and pulls itself up and looks at you and shakes its head no.
I write back on the paper, thank you, and then look to Tyne and kind of gesture to the door.
Time will go ahead and open it.
Hey, Tyne! Please give me a stealth check at advantage.
At advantage, okay, cool. $17.
You open the door quietly enough, revealing a serene-looking room here, softly lit, almost like a relaxation area here in the middle of the periodicals. A small bridge going over just a very shallow, maybe like 3-foot artificial pond here. There's a glimmer in the air and another set of doors at the far end.
What is this?
It's a pail with water in it.
Okay.
Looks like this room has not been disturbed for some time.
Okay. And this over here in the corner?
Just a tipped over vase.
I
Nothing that seems out of place here without any checks.
I'm gonna do a perception, I guess maybe just to listen. See if I hear anything weird.
Sure.
See. Make sure everything seems normal.
With
Okay.
a 23 perception check, Tyne, you hear nothing at all. It is completely silent here.
I guess I could figure that out. I'm gonna go through the other door.
All right, one more stealth check at advantage, though, as you're trying to be quiet.
Oh, 11. I'm gonna put one of my +1s into it. Make it a 12 at least.
Okay. Pushing open the door, you see a vast room up ahead of you. A beautiful window at the far end that looks at some display of plant work on the other side. Curved, you see a figure similar to the one you saw before, as the door just gives the slightest creak as it turns to you and with a smile puts a finger up to its lips but does nothing else.
Kind does the same.
You can follow along at this point, Uncle Jimmy.
All right. Heading back, can I take a quick look at the scroll on this side?
Yes, you can. You unravel the scroll to see what's inside. This here is periodicals. This one tells you of land that was built and purchased in a region that is just ahead of the Grey Doldrums. A eccentric but wealthy family who bought a mansion in the mountains. They don't really give you any information other than that, as the family wanted the purchase to be private, and they just sort of don't go over any other details, and that this is sort of almost like just the basic info about what's happened here, and that this was a big deal since this family was wealthy.
For the sake of time, I'll just go back to the paper, write a quick note on that so we have it, and put the scroll back and nod to the guy and head over to the other room.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do you guys do here?
I'll take the one section, and I'll, obviously.
All right, perception checks from both of you then, please.
Dirty 20.
Oh, very nice. And then Tyne?
19.
Both of you do a pretty good job taking your time now that you figured out that you do not have to be assaulted by these creatures. running a finger across the spines of the books, looking for the one you are trying to find. Tyne, you don't find anything over on the left area, but Uncle Jimmy, about right here, your finger finds a title that says History of the Blightners.
That sounds promising.
That sounds like you have found what you're looking for.
I pick it up and slowly walk over to Tyne quietly and point to it and give him a, like, hitchhikers, let's get the hell out of here.
Tyne understands. Go ahead and just say we head out.
All right, very quietly, so as not to disturb the sensors in this room, the both of you begin to hightail it out of there, but very quietly, not actually hightailing. That would probably imply you're trying to run. You're not doing that. You're just moving very quietly as you make your way out. Let me grab each of your tokens really quickly, because some of you took some damage and stuff, so I can't just use these ones that I had here. Go over here, grab these. Hang on just a second. Each of you begin to descend down these stairs that initially led you up to these individual rooms, and they wind back down, leading you from the second floor eventually back to the first. And close to the same time, maybe with like a minute or two in between, but let's say long story short, relatively collectively, each of you are able to descend the steps and re-find one another as all of you enter the atrium of the Codices. As you do, the sound of your footsteps begins to pick up. You can hear the sound of things shifting around. That muffled sensation in the previous rooms appears to be gone. You also notice each other descending down the steps. Sorry, go ahead.
I do not believe I enjoy libraries.
Yeah, that was really weird.
The librarians are very difficult to kill.
This is a bunch of mastermind crap. Let's get out of here.
What? What are you talking about?
Freaking eggheads, man.
You must have found something very different in your room.
Nah, books, man. They're all brains, man. I need books. Let's get out of here.
Books. Yes. Let us leave. Oh, actually, can we leave? Is the wall of stone gone?
Opie, you step up to the door, grabbing the handle again and pulling it open. The sound of the outside pours into the room just barely, and you can now see the opening leading back out to the steps that led up to the front doors. You can exit now that you have what you need in hand.
All right, let's head out.
Everyone having gathered what they need and surviving, some of you more narrowly than others. Don't forget knowledge checks. This was my remember knowledge checks are free session. Each of you find yourselves safely exiting and finding yourselves at the exterior of the Codices. Back outside. Let me just move the maps here. There we
Knowledge checks
go.
can be as free as you want if you can't roll higher than a 5.
Yeah, it's a good
No matter
point.
how
Well,
free they
true.
are.
You're not wrong.
Roll 20 must be raising their rates or something. God.
Yeah. When we reconvene, if we gotta heal up, I got everybody.
I mean, now that we're out, healing's easy now.
I
That we can
mentioned.
speak.
You all probably spend about an hour in there, so it's one light time.
Oh, whose greater healing potion do I have? I give it back.
Kyle's.
I
Oh, yeah,
give it
Kyle.
back to Professor.
I hold out your dust of disappearance.
Oh, you should have just blown that in their stupid smiley faces. That would have been really cool.
Did we acquire the location of the Blighted Lands?
Yeah, I got that, and I got some information on. I think the next region or whatever, some I don't know, some land that was bought up by some rich people. I don't know. Maybe it'll make sense later, but it looked important, so I wrote some notes on it.
Professor and Forte, what did you find the picture books?
Yes, we did. We found them. They were quite dirty. I tell you what, they were buried under dirt, literally. So they're dirty, and we don't need a strong warrior like yourself to become dirty handling them.
I can't see them.
You can see them, not at the moment though. When we make camp, it'd probably be better because they're very dirty, and we don't need to leave a trail for things to follow us in this area.
Yes,
Okay.
on account of the dirt. That makes sense.
And after we clean them, we can study them together. It is an anatomical study if I caught my glimpse correct.
Opie, you see the emerald frog in its cage, sort of bounding up and down.
I was gonna say Opie cast speak with animals, and ask the Toad King. So what do you do now that you have this book?
Testing. Let me. Is this a voice? Hang on. Let me find it real quick. Hang on. Let's see here.
Testing.
Here's the one.
The Toad King turns to you, Opie, and says,
Oh, glorious day! You found it! Yes, that's the one! There will be an incantation inside that will help me. But first, I need your help, Opie. I need you to take me back to my home.
Well, where's your home?
Do you have some type of map that I may look at so I can mark the location for you?
Yeah. Uncle Jimmy, can you give me the map? The Toad King, he wants us to take him home.
The Toad King demands a map, Uncle Jimmy!
I don't think he can understand you right now, Mr. King. It's just me.
Oh, I've been talking this whole time. Only you understand me?
Only when I cast the spell to speak to animals, because you're an animal.
Oh man, I've been sharing my entire life's history. Oh, it doesn't matter. Just take me to my home. Bring me the map.
Opie gives him the map.
the Toad King uses its paw and kind of pushes it in the mud nearby, and then uses it to mark this space a little further southwest of the map as a location for you to visit.
Wait, can you... Is it this one?
Yeah, that one there.
Okay. Opie says, okay, Mr. King, we'll keep you and this book safe, and we'll take you home.
Opie, consider this the first step in many magical and grand rewards the Toad King could offer you should you bring me back to my home abode.
Okay, sounds good.
Very well. Also, do you have any extra flies or insects that I could... I said that I hunger for adventure, but I am a toad. I am a little hungry.
Well, you can't have any of my swarm, but, I'm sure I can find you some flies or something.
We're in a swamp. How hard could it be?
I was gonna say.
We gotta be crawling in mosquitoes by now.
I'm going to take a quick fiver out of my cage, Opie, and gather a small meal, if you don't mind.
Wait, he wants out of his cage?
You watch as he opens the door himself and pops out.
Okay. He can just get out himself this whole time.
It's actually more of like a carriage than a cage.
Opie's gonna...
This was to lock myself in, not keep myself from being locked out.
Okay,
Of
well,
course, Maya.
I'll help you, find some flies then.
Very well, Opie. The first step in your journey to become... What do you want to become, Opie?
What do I become?
Well, what do you want? You want to become a strong frog? A strong toad?
I want to be a strong warrior so I can go back to my village and my moms will be proud.
Ah, I see. And you were raised by what exactly?
Grungs, have you ever heard of them? They look like you, but they're bigger and not animals.
Bigger! There are plenty of grung waiting for my return. For you see, I, Opie, am the Toad King, and they await for my return and arrival.
Wait, you're the king of Grung?
Yes!
Oh,
Amphibians alike!
I thought you just meant other toads.
Toads, grung, they're relatively all the same in most of our books.
I don't know about this guy.
We all eat flies. Don't we?
Well, I don't usually eat flies, but I can find you some flies.
What do you eat?
You know, the normal stuff.
Flies are as normal as it gets.
Meat, veggies, hot dogs.
Strange foods that you cannot grab out of the air that attempts to fly away from your tongue.
Well, I never ate a fly. Maybe I should try it.
I think you should, Opie. I think you'll find the experience quite exhilarating. But enough about that. I shall gather some flies, and we shall continue your trek on becoming a true warrior to impress your grown family.
Okay, sounds good.
It hops off.
I'm gonna stay with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see Opie. Yeah, you see Opie and this frog just like spending 5 minutes going. Bruh, bruh, bruh.
Do I need to make like a check to help find
No,
flies?
no.
Okay.
He just like a wild frog just spends 5-10 minutes bounding around, occasionally throwing his tongue out at some flies here.
Okay.
So what about this Blightner location? What did we get from the book?
You crack open the book and read about the information of the Blightners. This book tells you less about the Blightners themselves other than that they are purveyors of the blight. They wish to spread it as a permanent fixture of this area. Most of their numbers are creatures well suited to the darkness, such as drow and the like. They believe the blight to be a blessing and could use it as an expansion method so that they could travel on the surface of worlds that they may have never been able to because of a certain form of sunlight sensitivity that many of them carry. Their headquarters is a location called Karnak, built from the skull of a large giant who once roamed the Grey Doldrums, and the information provided in the book shows that to you here on the map.
Oh. It is close by.
Oh, right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's
Okay, okay.
Do we know what this? Did we learn what this place is?
Yeah, that's
Ethereum.
something. Yeah, we got a quest from somebody named Poutro. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that something happened to his wife in Epicedium.
Okay.
And I guess we need to go figure out what happened to her or something.
So, do you guys want to do the Blightners and double back to the Epicedium, or do you want to go to the Epicedium and then down to the Toad King home?
I say we go Epicedium and then Toad King, and then maybe make our way back up. Maybe we'll find another bug.
We got the well as well. Because what's our
Oh yeah, what's
Yeah, what's our meter at?
Oh, how much stuff we have?
It's only at 48.
Yeah, we gotta hit that well at some point.
But we get points back just from doing quests too.
Let's probably head
True.
south then.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I say
let's
we
do-
just to the epicedium.
Sure. It's close
Okay.
enough.
It's south. That
Oh,
works.
man.
All right. If that's the case, you may begin moving that way if you'd like to.
Is this like how many hexes can we move right now?
1, 2, 3, 4. I think you could get there. I'm gonna say you can get there.
Okay.
So you begin to travel that way. Moving here, that's going to be 2 hours. That's going to be another mark off of the harmonic flux.
Mm-hmm.
3 light time. Let me do a quick check on the event list that I like to pre-roll here, just so I don't have to roll and keep looking through a whole chart. Nothing happens on this space. Would you like to keep moving?
Mm-hmm.
All right, keep on trucking. It's going to be another 2 hours. That brings you to 5 light time. No harmonic flux drop. And then let me just see real quickly here. Let me do a roll. Both of you see a Furbolg walking down through the marshes, kind of pushing through the bushes. As he sees you, he looks and says, begins waving his hands. Hey, 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 people! Hello?
We are being assailed by a burglar. Shall I
Wait.
take care of it?
Travelers?
Hey, mister, can we help you?
Hi, I'm Jaren. I'm a Furbolg. I was traveling on donkey back, but unfortunately hit a pretty thick swamp, and some nasty critters attacked me. I was able to make it out fine, but poor donkey didn't. I'm from Epicedium, so I'm not far here. Would you? It's still a couple hours out. I'm just wondering, would you be willing to maybe give me a ride back there?
Yeah, we're heading in that direction anyway.
I'm a butcher in town. I could hook you up with some free meats if you'd be willing to give me a little ride.
Oh, cool. Do you have hot dogs?
Not typically, but I guess we could use some meat to make some. Sure.
Well, I do love hot dogs.
Okay, well they're pretty easy to make. You just grab some meat and you like twist them and compact them, and that's essentially like a hot dog.
Just imagining somebody taking ground beef and just
Meat logs.
I'm
Okay.
something of a butcher myself.
Oh, hey. Well, he sees now that you're just made completely of bone and just sort of takes a second hesitating. Maybe we can do some trade talk. Apply our skills when we get back.
You said your name was Jiren?
Yes.
And what is your town like, the Epicedium?
Oh, it's heaven compared to this hellhole outside of it.
It is a normal town. It's not made of water that brings you into a different place. It does not have undead people roam about. It does not do any crazy things. It's just peaceful place.
It sounds like you all have been through some shit heading out through the passage, huh?
Yes, quite the adventures.
Well, I can tell you this much. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Epicedium is the spot to go. Whatever weird shenanigans you've been running into in these other accursed places out in the passage, the Epicedium's the one place that those things don't exist. I haven't heard of a single bad thing going on. Man, decades, really. most of us do a lot of trading, have traders come to us, not vice versa. It's a big enough town to be able to do that type of stuff. We import and export, so not a whole lot of us got to leave the city premises. So this is one of those rare times, and I guess I'm clearly being punished for it, so I think I may halt my swamp adventuring. But yeah, you can grab food, you can grab some rest. Please, come to the town, stay a little bit, relax. It's probably got to be some weight off your shoulders compared to the rest of this place.
Do you know of anybody named Paltrow or maybe his wife?
Paltrow sounds familiar. Bunch of businesses in town. I think he's the key maker. I don't know much about him, so I don't know what his situation is. But I could at least point to his shop. Maybe you could talk to him once we get there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
After the hot dogs, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, we'll make you some hot dogs.
Okay.
Through line of this campaign is hot dogs.
Forward, Uncle Jimmy. Forward.
I mean, okay.
Tyne offers the Furbolg draw of his pipe if he'd like.
Oh, deeply. What's your name, sir? I made a mistake.
My name.
The wagon moves another space in between the time Tyne says this. But
Everyone just like, oh no!
the Furbolg learns the Tyne's name and deeply appreciate it and takes a nice puff off your pipe. That puts us to 7 light time, and that's one more mark off the harmonic flux. One more space to the epicedium. Anybody doing anything before you hit town?
We don't need any. How's the wagon looking?
Wagon is it's got some spots that could probably use a little patching up, but still seems serviceable for the time being.
We can patch it up when we get to town.
Yeah.
All right. Uh-oh. Someone is trying to make it like they've crossed a large portion of the map. All right, you move one more space headed towards epicedium. Go ahead and mark those spaces off so you know that you visited them. Bringing you all to 9 light time. You can see some of the Gleedokin in the sky beginning to flicker and pull away. Not fully blight time just yet, but it's beginning to get there. This the version, if you will, of kind of beginning to get dusk here in the passage. As the cart pulls along here with Jiren inside, just kind of hanging out from the safety of the outside. No other events taking place that would halt you to get to the city here. You all begin to pull the cart out of the muck and mire of the swamp lands around onto some dry ground as the elevation here sort of lifts up, similar to your map on what is sort of like not a full-on plateau, but just some elevation that kind of clears it from all of the gunk and the slow trudge of the swamp region that would be sort of surrounding here. And winding on sort of like a dirt path, you begin to find yourselves entering through the gates of a relatively built town. The town is lively. You see plenty of people plying their trade outside. You see a number of carts and wagons, not too dissimilar from your own, probably importing or exporting. You see a couple halflings sort of offloading some things off of a cart. You see a couple furbolgs and shifters holding what look like lumber on their shoulders and moving it back and forth through the town. You see kids playing in the square where there's a small well and tossing the ball around at one another. There is conversation happening here, and there's a liveliness that feels nice and fresh. And even though there is a lot going on, there still is a warmth to this town that sort of hits you as you come in of like, oh, there's life here, as where the rest of the passage has been relatively nasty and unforgiving. What would you all like to do?
Get the hot dog.
Yeah, drop this guy off first, and then probably.
Oh yeah, sure thing. Yeah, drop me off over here. He points you over to a nearby meat shop, and as you run the wagon over that way, he leads you in through the back door, and turning on a couple candles, lighting a few things. He shares the kitchen area with you, and says, "Real appreciative of all that. Let me grab some supplies for you, and I'll get you a couple stacks of meat, and also get you some hot dogs made if y'all want to just hang out here for a good 10-20 minutes."
Sounds delicious.
And what direction is the keymaker's shop?
You're going to keep on heading down this road. You're going to take a right. There's going to be another little open plaza. A couple shops there, but Paltrow's place, the Keymaker's, is going to be there.
Good.
It's got a big old wooden key symbol above it. Can't miss it.
I see.
So, he begins to pack some meat, kind of wrapping it in a wrapping paper as he turns towards you, Lincoln says. So, what's your best techniques for skimming some stuff?
I like to cut directly to the bone first, sliding along the tendon until exsanguination takes its toll.
These are like game you hunt.
Yes.
You can see there's like a uneasiness in his voice, but he just sort of like continues to pack, just trying to keep the conversation normal. He gathers.
Opie's gonna tell him about Wilbur, the giant. What was he?
He was a hodag.
The
creature, yeah.
hodag that likes hot dogs.
So this thing just ate hot dogs. That's it.
Yeah, all it wanted was hot dogs. And
Wait, are
so
you
we
trying to
just-
lull this thing back from its master with more of these hot dogs?
Yeah, we just gave it hot dogs and it just followed us right back to town.
I see. Well,
And then I ate some hot dogs because I never had hot dogs before.
you discovered the magic.
Yeah, I ate some hot dogs with Wilbur. And now I just crave them all the time. They're just so
they're-
good.
They're really nothing special. It's just literally compacting the meat together and just hopefully cooking it and eating it. Jiren works to get 10 pounds of meat for you.
10 pounds of hot dog.
He also crafts up a good handful of hot dogs for you. And because you
Okay.
successfully were able to give him a ride over to town, they're going to raise the harmonic flux by 5 points.
Nice.
As
It's the power of hot dogs.
How many pounds of hot dogs do we get? or does that 10 pounds include the hot dogs?
It includes the hot dogs. You
Okay.
got some hot dogs in there.
Okay.
All right, anything else I can do for your folks? I really appreciate it. Hey, spend a spell in town. There's a nice little inn down the road. Get you some Z's. It's not something where you gotta, worry about all these skeeters trying to suck all your juices out or being attacked by whatever the hell may be roaming in the blight time. It's getting about that time anyway. You may as well just go do your business with the Keymaster and just grab a night of sleep. Safest place in all of the passage.
This guy's definitely a serial killer, by the way. He's 100% a serial killer. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, we'll probably stay there tonight.
Oh, cool. Well, if I see you in town at some point, I'll give you a wave. I appreciate the help.
Yeah,
He's like, we're staying here. We leave the door unlocked and all of our valuables out.
Yeah, I can let you know our room numbers once we get down.
What are you doing?
I mean,
so you can come visit.
sure, you don't have to
How
do
you
that, but yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Sure.
Mr. Forte found some picture books that I think we're gonna look at.
I'm gonna share over dinner.
Oh,
Night, everybody.
all right. That's pretty cool too, I guess. Picture books, huh? He says, looking at you, Forte.
Quite descriptive, the artist, yeah.
Oh, all right. Yep. Well, look, he like leans down to you, Opie. I appreciate the help, but I'm not gonna have time to look at picture books. I got a lot of meat to prep. Got a lot of hot dogs to make. So why don't you all go do your thing?
Okay, thank you, Mister.
Let's go to the key shop before we get in more trouble.
All right.
Giant bone construct and a child looking at picture.
Bidding
two old guys and another puppet.
bidding farewell to Jiren and his meat shop. You all begin to head through the town square. Plenty of people running and playing. One of the balls from the kids kind of bounds in front of the wagon. Quite a few onlookers watching as your Phytan, this plant-like creature, just sort of like uses its long green stalks to pull the wagon across the cobblestone here. Some of them laughing and pointing, some of them interested at what that creature is. You eventually make your way, turning the corner and finding yourselves in another plaza-like area that's still nice and full of people, a lively town. And there you see on the wall is a locksmith and keymaster with a large wooden key sort of carved above it.
Does it look open?
Yeah, you see lights on inside. You know, it's still light time outside, so.
Yeah, we go in.
All right, as you push inside, you see what looked to be like a mixture of all kinds of keys and makes, and probably what is more so important is a whole bunch of locks on the wall, different makes and things like that. And behind a counter at the far end, you see a halfling wearing sort of like little reading spectacles and working with a small little lock in his hand.
Hi, are you Mr. Paltrow?
Ah, greetings. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. What can I do for you folks? Welcome to my locksmith and keymaking shop. Newcomers here? What was that? I'm sorry.
Your wife is missing.
Is that like a greeting you all share with one another? Newcomers?
I think what Mr. Lincoln means to say is that we saw your post on the quest board at the Helper's Hand about your wife.
He has a confused look on his face, and he says,
"Do I have like the post?"
Yeah, you have it in your hand.
I'll show him. I'll show him it.
He seems in a quizzical state and takes the note and unfurls it. Ah. Where did you get this from?
The Helper's Hand Guild?
Well, this is my handwriting. But I don't know. He kind of smiles a little bit awkwardly and says, "Is this a joke?"
No, sir.
The handwriting is really well. It matches my own, but I don't have a wife. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Maybe he has a husband. Maybe it just means he has a husband instead.
And the helper's hand is just like really homophobic. It'd be like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
he must have meant wife, so we'll just put that down.
Well, that was a lot of fun. You'll have to figure out what's happening next time if there's anything to figure out.
He says leadingly.
I guess that kind of made sense as a fun little. I guess it wasn't too spooky, but a fun little asymmetric gameplay in the Codices with some creepy. What were they called? What was that Buffy episode? Hush. That was my Buffy episode of Hush. You ever saw that episode, Luke?
I've only seen like the first season of Buffy.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh my
That's so good.
god.
Only seen the musical episode.
Oh, it was so good.
What's wrong with feeling?
It's one of the good ones. They went around on the college campus after a silent spell was put up. Nobody could talk. And they floated in the air, and they had these creepy looking grins on their faces, and there were these bald creatures, and they had a scalpel in their hands, and they would find in the night, they'd go to people's dorm rooms and go into their dorm rooms and hold them down so they couldn't make any noise because they couldn't scream, and they'd cut their hearts out. And that's how they killed
people.
people.
That is basically a D&D episode right there, yeah.
So I've been wanting to adapt that for the
episode.
I've been wanting to adapt them for the longest time. So there we go. There was our Halloweenish spooky Buffy interjection with the creatures from the Codices. So hopefully you all had fun. I know asymmetric stuff can be a little weird, so hopefully no one felt like they were not able to play for that long. But we'll come back next session here in Epicedium with you all together as a group. And hey, now you have quite a few areas to maybe kind of figure out and discover now that you went to one of the focal points here after going to the Helper's Hand, which was a Codices to grab quite a few things. You got Karnak, you got the Toad King's Abode, you have Epicedium, so we'll see where your journey takes you next time. Thank you everyone in chat for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you Neo for stopping in and hanging out. Thank you Discordian for popping in. Thank you Heather Wiz. Thank you Role Players Guild 128th. I really appreciate everyone stopping in. If you haven't already, please give the channel a follow. Go follow all my links. You can find all kinds of cool stuff like a Patreon and YouTube, all kinds of good stuff. And yeah, if you want to join in a pro DM game, I still have a spot open Thursdays. Go check that out. Hit me up if you have questions, either on Twitch or Twitter or Discord, whatever. We're heading out for the evening. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. Let's go really quickly. I'm going to raid someone just really quickly, and then in the meantime, we're going to pull things to a close. So as I pull this to a close, stick around those of you who want some more D&D. But as for us here on the channel, we are headed out. So thank you, and goodbye, everybody!
What do you guys think happened? One of the players Robbie played with got carried away and killed him.
Well, that's kind of far out.
Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game. Swords, poison, spells, battles, maiming, killing.
Hey, it's all imagination.
Is it?